Well, simping basically is putting a woman on a pedestal and treating her like a celebrity by either giving her swaths of attention or spending money on her and just hoping to win some little crumb of attention or affection from her. It's the new term for thirsty, nice guys. Simping is a major turnoff because a high-value woman needs to know that you have high-value-oriented standards, not low, shallow-oriented standards. And in order for you to have high standards, to be able to attract a high-value woman, you have to have self-esteem. If you don't have high self-esteem, that's when you slip into simping, and you'll never slip into her.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, commenting, so that you know when I have a whole new video up. Today's video is about people pleasing, which the slang word or the word that a lot of people use now is simping. And simping usually involves dating, but I have some examples by that creator Swoozy. I think I did a video a real long time ago about this, probably like 3 years ago. So I believe we need a refresher, because simping is not just when a man is trying to get a woman or a woman is trying to get a man. It also applies to your friendships, your work environment, even family to a degree. So without further ado, we're going to get on that right now.
So for anybody who's not familiar with the term simp, I heard somebody on Twitch put it in a really good way. You have a dog who loves his owner. The dog's whole world is based around the owner. And then you have that owner who comes home and he's just like, the owner's really he uses that app Wags to get somebody else to come and walk the dog. That dog is just a fraction of the owner's life. That dog is the simp in this equation. The owner is there literally shopping for a cat online. Meanwhile, the dog is there licking the bottom of his feet. Most of us have simped at some point in our life for somebody that we found attractive. Let's just keep it 100%. But it's good to recognize if you're currently doing this and course correct. A little while ago, I had a girl hit me up and she was like, "Take me somewhere tropical." You know what I said back to her? "No, I'm sorry, y'all. Take me somewhere tropical because I'm so stressed. Let's go somewhere like in the Caribbean." She's saying let's like she's gonna contribute in any way, shape, or form. For example, if somebody hit you up and said, "Hey, let's go buy a car," both of y'all show up to the dealership, you look at her and she's like, "I didn't bring any money." And fellas, I'm talking to you, this has happened to you before, but in a different way. They probably changed the words around. You probably got a text and it was worded like this: "I miss you. Let's go grab a bite." This bait simping, where you don't even realize you're simping for somebody, but they bait you in, knowing dang well they're just using you as a free meal. It sucks because there's actually people out there who do miss you and do want to hang out with you. Let me tell you how I figured out this little plot. This one girl texted me and she was like, "Are my texts even going through to you? You're like ignoring me or something." Okay, well, what was the last text you sent me? She sends me the screenshot over and I noticed there's a pizza slice next to my name. My first thought was, hold up, wait a minute. This girl thinks I'm a snack. But then my second thought was, hold up, wait a minute. The only time I ever hear from this girl is when it's a "I miss you, let's go get some food," and I pay every time. So she hits me with the "I missed you, let's get some food." So I'm like, yeah, let's go get some food. As soon as we sit down, I'm like, yo, you got me this time. I paid for the last time, you got me this time, right? Cool. The look on this girl's face was kind of like, yeah. Ordered my burger. I'm in the mood for ice cream. Made her pay for my ice cream too. This is all a test. I've taken her out dozens of times. Think she might have spent $15 on me total. Tell me why come that was the last time this girl has ever asked me to go out to eat. Peculiar.
Yes, peculiar. Now, we always hear about women shit testing men or doing little tests. Not all women do this, but I do believe in the course of a relationship, a woman will test their man in certain ways. I know when I first start dating a woman, one of the first things I'll do, because look, I'm old fashioned, I will pay for the whole bill, but if we just started dating, even if it's been a couple of weeks and she doesn't make an attempt to reach for her card, because that is the thing of how all those women got me that we had dated. This is why I don't think they was bad individuals. I just think they allowed their social circle to somewhat corrupt them, or maybe they was already corrupted and I brought some good out in them, but obviously it wasn't enough. And what I mean by her reaching for the card is like, okay, well, I'll pay for my part of it or something. And I'll be like, oh, no, I got it. And there's a funny thing me and one of my ex-girlfriends did is we would be racing to pull the card out to pay for the meal. Now, she probably was testing me, but just the fact that she made the attempt was all made all the difference in the world. And something good about my ex-wife, because as I say, even though we had issues, one of the things that made me fall in love with her when I just started a job and I didn't have a lot of money, or I didn't have enough money on me because I was waiting for the first check. I forgot what it was. And she treated me to a taco. And even though it was just one thing, it was a taco. I was like, a woman's never treated me before. Even though it was a small thing, but because it was so rare, I was like, who is this girl? And automatically it made me really interested in her. Let's keep going.
And you want to know what really messed me up? I was on Twitter one day and then I saw this. And then I was like, hold up, wait a minute. I've been possibly simping out here. Even for friends. Everybody's out here talking about, oh, you're simping for this Twitch person, and you're simping OnlyFans. Nobody ever talks about unbalanced friendships and us out here simping for our friends. Let's discuss. And if you're like me, you put 100% in and you go out of your way for everybody in your circles, but you can start getting taken advantage of real easy when you do that. Not everybody's like me in this sense, but I'd much rather have no friends than a gang of fake friends. And I feel like it's my responsibility that if I'm gonna talk about this, I need to also talk about friends out there who are doing too much. There are some annoying friends out there. If you come on too strong, you're gonna end up pushing people away from you. There's this girl I met, really cute girl, really fun, great personality. After we met, we started hanging out everywhere. Dave and Buster's, the movies. I pay for everything. That's just how I roll. Then all of a sudden I notice she starts bringing her best friend around. Cool, now I'm paying for all of us and we're going everywhere chilling. It's a great friendship. Group chat, everything. And then I see that tweet and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Every time we hang out, every time we talk, every time we even do anything is when I initiate conversation in the group chat. Let me just fall back and then see how long it takes for them to initiate something in the group chat. I have not heard from these two girls since. The one time I decided to test this friendship, it was paper thin. If you have somebody who's literally sponsoring all your extravaganzas, you can't even raise a thumb? Y'all couldn't even pull a, I miss you, let's grab a bite?
Now, this is why I always understood celebrities. This is what I think they struggle with when they have friends and family, even people that they are dating, well, especially people that they are dating. You have everybody wanting a piece or a free ride from you. And this will make some of them real stingy, even though they have plenty because they don't want to feel used. They're going to act like Uncle Scrooge with their money. And a lot of people that have big hearts, because I know I used to, well, I still do to extent. But a lot of times I would stretch myself thin because it would be one person that I'm treating. I use, for example, if I'm taking pictures of one person, and that person, that girl I might like. But then there's other people that's like, hey, yeah, okay, can you take a picture of me? And I'm not funny like that. I'm like, well, I'm already taking a picture of her and I have a camera. So I'm going to take a picture of them. And while I did not mind doing that for a couple years, probably 3 years, I didn't mind doing that because a lot of those people became good associates of mine. But then later on, when it was a lot of other people that became added, I kind of felt like I was playing myself to a degree. And then it started becoming more of a strain to do it because I had more things on my plate, life stuff changed, and it felt like I was going out of my way and I didn't feel like it was appreciated too much. I don't know. Maybe that was all in my head per se. But the moral of the story is it's all right to treat people or to do kind gestures, but you got to put the brakes on, especially when you don't feel like doing it, then don't fucking do it. Okay? And if you ever catch them either in a lie or somebody saying something about you that makes you feel like, why is I'm doing it for this person? Then don't do it. And I remember one woman has said something to me, and she's a friend of mine. She was like, "You don't owe anybody anything," and I was like, "Yeah, you are right," because I've done more than enough. So anyway, let me finish this story. But yeah, don't simp over your friends either. And a lot of times, and remember, when you do this particular thing, you're doing it to yourself. You made the decision to do it. So you're not the victim. Just some people will take advantage of it. So anybody that was watching it, I did not mind doing it for most of you. But some of you, yeah.
Once? Let me drop a Uno reverse on y'all real quick. In some cases, it's okay to simp. I meet this girl, we start talking, and we start talking on the phone a lot. And then one time we're on the phone, and I'm like, hey, let me let you go. I'm finna go watch Walking Dead. Side note, this is back when it was good. So this was on a Friday. Hang up the phone, don't hear from her until like Monday. She hits me up. So, I watched The Walking Dead. Let's talk about it. You said you didn't watch the show. Yeah, but like, you mentioned it on the phone that you were gonna go watch it, so I figured, I don't know, if he's into it, I'll give it a shot too. And I'm all caught up. Hold up. Wait a minute. You watched 6 years of Walking Dead episodes over the weekend because I just mentioned it in passing? Yes, yeah. That's some hardcore simp behavior, y'all. So what I did, I was like, you're not gonna out-friend me. Okay, you name any show, and I will watch the trailer for it. Kidding. No, I told her, name any episode, I'll watch the entire first season. It's okay to simp for somebody if they're gonna simp for you back. This other time, I was on my Instagram story and I was trying to get a hold of this game and it was sold out everywhere and they didn't have digital downloads for this game. And I'm on my story talking about, guys, I can't find this game anywhere. I'm stressed. This girl saw my story, DM'd me, and she said, hey, I looked up the game, I found it, I can go pick it up, buy it for you, and send it to you. She refused to let me pay her for it, but I was like, yeah, yes, I want this game. Months later, I come to find out this girl found a game and it was out of town. She drove an hour to pick it up and then an hour back and then mailed it to me. This girl did a few more things after that. I'm not gonna get into it on this video. Maybe in the future, we'll see. Fast forward, I'm looking on her story and she's like, I want this PC so bad, but I don't has the monies. There's a $1,500 computer. Venmo'd her right then and there, no hesitation. And if you guys don't pay attention to anything I've said in this video, just hear me on this one. Some people around you are gonna celebrate you. Some people are just gonna tolerate you. And it's a very good idea to figure out who's gonna do which.
And that right there is the only type of simping or people pleasing I agree with, is when it's mutual, back and forth. I'm like that already because that's the way that I was raised. Now, sometimes, obviously, when you lead like that, because sometimes I will do that if I like the person or I get a good vibe from them or something. I may start off not too strong, but I may start off if I notice they need something or they need help or something. But then I have, especially being older now, I have that thing inside me of, do I see them making any effort toward me? And the woman doesn't have to do that particular thing right there that she did for Swoozy. Actually, though, I would think maybe she like him, but I would have to see those two interact, because some people do have friendships like that. I just usually think when somebody's bending over backwards for somebody a bit, somebody likes somebody, but on the same note, usually when somebody does something nice for me, I do something nice for them. And if I notice that they are in need, I will just automatically just, without thinking, I will do it. I just won't keep doing it. Because if I keep doing it, obviously, I have feelings attached and maybe I want something more for her. Or if it's a friend, a guy or a girl, then I'm expecting them to pay me back. And the person may not be able or may not have no intention on paying me back. So in that way, simping is not bad if you are mutually doing it for each other. It's when it becomes lopsided, when person just keeps giving and giving and the other person just keeps taking and taking. So it's so many levels to this. It's the obvious thing of a man chasing after a woman that is obviously not interested in him, but also friendships or people that will put in minimum effort to get the ball rolling and have you putting in way more effort while they pull back. That's what I usually have to be careful of. Not with friends. I never had that issue too much with friends. The only time maybe was that particular time with the picture taking stuff. But I also think I used that to try to get over trauma that I was going through in my breakups. But it's the romantic relationships that usually get me. And I notice there's a group of women that like people pleasers or simps so that they can use and abuse them. Maybe not abuse them, but definitely use them. And not to say that they owe them their time or to go on a date or something, but just watch this video here and you'll understand what I'm trying to say.
How would you define a simp?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like people want to say that's like a derogatory thing, but I actually really enjoy a simp. I think a simp is someone who just appreciates a person and shows them love and appreciation, and that's not a bad thing.
I love simps. I think it's a cute term. But a simp is generally just a man that is so obsessed with either one female or multiple female that practically do anything for her.
I guess by the traditional definition, but a simp to me is just a guy who appreciates a beautiful woman.
What is the difference between a guy who simps for you online versus a guy who simps for you in a relationship?
Probably nothing.
I would hope spoiling me as well. I hope they're not a broke simp. I love simps. I wouldn't use the word simp in a relationship unless he was into it, but most guys online are simps.
Well, she said it. Most guys online is simps. And I think, or people pleasers, whatever term the YouTube algorithm is going to let me use. I think I'm probably going to use people pleasing first to see how YouTube pushes it. Otherwise, then I'm going to stand by my guns and put the simp word up there. Thing is, though, I think women that are influencers or in the public eye, I don't think they mind men that are simps because they got used to them being there. Okay, giving them something and expecting nothing in return, even though they are expecting something in return. But basically, they are giving it and then watching it fly away with the woman. And I guess in a way, men also do this with their sports heroes or athletes. This is why I can watch a player that's like an Allen Iverson or a Michael Jordan, admire what they do on the court, but I don't want to meet them in person and I don't want their autograph because I heard too many stories about quite a few of them, how they are not good people unless if you are an attractive woman, then maybe they will stop. So look, I would say don't simp for anybody that's not simping for you. So get that mutual thing right there and realize is lots of different ways of simping. If you have some people that you know that's in the popular crowd and you really want to be part of that crowd or that friend group or something, if they don't like you or don't accept you, then fuck them. Move on with your life. I know it's easier to say, hard to do. I learned that lesson young when I was a kid and when kids didn't want to play with me. So I had a big imagination. So I would go and just play by myself and start having fun. And then kids would start coming around wanting to play with me after probably the chief person over there was like, no, you can't play with us. But they had some defectors that I guess maybe was being mistreated over there. So they came over here to play with me. And that's how I lived most of my life. I just wasn't able to always get it in the relationships. Okay. So I know I simped in my past, especially for women that I really like. A lot of times I was able to curb it back just in case I noticed I was calling them too much or just being there that much. There's one group of women that sometimes will still get me every once in a while. And it's those women that are my type that play the hot and cold game. I think my next video is going to be about mixed signals. Those are the women that I have to watch out for. And I think I probably got into a relationship with quite a few of them. And I think that's probably was my home life when I was growing up, because I know my mom was busy, but she loved me. So it was like mixed signals there. And I think that carries over in some of my relationships. But since I'm conscious of it, I know what not to look for. And I think this is why I don't usually like extremes. But when it comes to relationship stuff, I'd rather the woman be sipping over me, maybe blowing up my phone a bit too much. She has to be my type though. Blowing up my phone a bit too much than her to be nonchalant and not really into me. That right there. And probably not the mixed signal one, because the mixed signal one is more exciting because they give you a little they really into you, and then they give you a little like, I don't like you that much type of thing. But that comes off as being a game. So give me a like and subscribe. Have a good night. Hope we learned something. And yes, today was my birthday, March 7th. Yes, I'm a Pisces. Good night.
Previously on Star Trek. Somebody locked Kirk in the dryer. He was in there spinning for hours. Who put him in there? Khan, a genetically enhanced superhuman thawed out from the 90s. He could open any door and kill any man with one punch. Dead. Kirk tried to get him with knockout gas, but Khan was genetically engineered to know how to cover his mouth and run out the room. Dead. Khan could push buttons and turn switches on any operating system. Windows, Mac, Starfleet, don't matter. He could hide behind walls with ease. Kirk didn't even see him coming. Khan grabbed the phaser and balled it up like trash. An alarm went off. Kirk went to work. Run and jump kick, double fist blows, scissor kick, neck leg takedown. Khan was unfazed. I'm 5 times the man you are, Kirk. Oh yeah? We'll take 5 of these. That was Khan's weakness. Repeated blows from a plastic pipe.
We do not live by your rules, dirty word. Your ego has driven you out of truth. You only played yourself, got no game.